Guys, welcome back to the game with the freshest, dankest of memes. This is Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. Let's continue. Okay, time to get started. I need to check anywhere that might be important from one end to the other. I just need to do what I always do. There's a knife laying on the ground. Is this? It must be the knife that was stuck in the body before it exploded. The force of the explosion must have thrown it over here. The monocular parts of the knife went all the way through the body from front to back. Does that mean the knife is what caused the fatal injury? Either way, this knife. It looks really familiar. Wait, is this? That's it. It's the knife the person was holding. This is getting really weird. There are just too many strange coincidences. Whoever the person in the mask was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And that same knife was used to stab the same mask attacker we found here. So maybe this masked person got stabbed because... when they attacked, I was in kind of a trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife. And maybe then I... And if this really is Kyoko, it would mean Kyoko is the one that attacked me. But why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. Knife at the crime scene. So me and Kyoko are the biggest suspects here, obviously. These are like fragments of something. They're burnt, so I can't really be sure, but... feels like I've seen something like this before. But where? Wait, was it there? I'll have to double check that later. I don't know what he's referencing, but we'll definitely be checking that later, hopefully. If I check the body more thoroughly, maybe then I'll find out for sure if it's Kyoko or not. Huh, there's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails, they're really long. They seem like they get in the way of normal activity. Fake nails have been added to the truth bullet section. There's also something on the back of her hand, right? It's a tattoo, it got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing, but... it looks like a picture of a dog or something. I'd never seen anything like it before. Which means it isn't Kyoko. Because Kyoko didn't have a tattoo. The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water on it. Which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There's nothing strange about that, right? There might be. The way you say that makes me think it is. The white jacket the victim was wearing got totally burnt up. There's only one little piece left. The upper half of the body got set on fire in the explosion, so it's totally blackened. Also, the top half of the body is wet. That's because it got set on fire and I threw water on it. Since I only threw water on the part that was on fire, the top half, the bottom half is still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. There isn't, right? Okay, well there's something strange about it, otherwise we wouldn't be going, right all the time. I don't know why we don't look at the body more. You know, I'd look at it a bit more than that, but there you go. Chicken queue anything in them? There's a chicken missing. What's going on, Mikado? Oh, I'm glad you're here. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens there were in here? Of course, there were precisely 5. Yeah, right. What's wrong? There's only 4 chickens here now. We're 1 short. That's so weird. I wonder when it disappeared. I was down here just before nighttime last night, and there were definitely 5 chickens then. What are we gonna do? Giving gone from 5 to 4 is gonna have impact on the structure of the world. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. It's like every single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. I did my best to ignore Hero and focus on the problem at hand. Why did one of the chickens disappear? Could it be related to the case? Anything on the monitor? This is the panel that controls the sprinklers. Huh, hold on. So the sprinklers turn on at 7:30 each morning, right? Then if the body was here before then, the sprinklers should have gotten it wet. Which would mean the murder must have taken place after 7:30.
Listen, Makoto, do you remember how the body looked, before it blew up?
If I remember right, it was wearing some kind of mask and a big wet coat. Also, there was a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Is that red hair poking out from under the mask? Apparently the wound had stopped bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. Byakuya said not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody. But for how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it.
Okay. Oh, thanks, that was a big help. Now you explained it, I totally remember how it looked.
Well, having to talk about it like that helped me remember it a lot better too. So thank you too. Okay. Toko.
So who does the body belong to? Whoever it is, I'm not gonna look. I don't want to faint anymore.
Okay, she's not very helpful. Good timing, Makoto. I want to talk to you. What do you want to talk about? I'd like to hear your alibi. Alibi? Correct. I'd love to hear where you were after nighttime began last night. I was sick, so I was asleep all night. But why are you asking about that now, and what's nighttime got to do with it? Isn't it obvious this murder took place after nighttime? How can you know that for sure? Because just as nighttime began, I came to the garden. I was going around looking for everyone so I could tell them about Monokuma. He's been spending most of his time in the garden the last few days, so I figured he'd be in here. And I confirmed that when I arrived last night, there was nobody here. So the murder could only have taken place at some point during the nighttime after I left the garden. Well, it took place after 7:30, actually. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina and I were in the gym together the entire night last night. What? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's rooms to get them. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. We never went to the bathroom in Paris. In other words, all four of us have airtight alibis. The only ones who don't have alibis are me and Kyoko.
That's right.
And if the victim really is Kyoko, then I'm the only one without an alibi. Also, when we went to get Hina and Toko, we stopped by your room as well.
What?
But you never came to the door. So where precisely were you? I'm telling the truth, I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so... That's hardly an alibi. I know. So, what now? You seem to be quite at a disadvantage here. I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it? Well, it's true as well. Shit. It's 11 o'clock right now. Okay, and... Oh, well, I was just thinking about when we first found the body. When the body was found, huh? I should look back at what I did this morning to help me remember when that was. Monokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock as usual. I headed to the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, I met Hina. That was right around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the body. What time was it then? Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so probably the 9 on the dot now. That's right, it had to be right around 9 o'clock.
You know?
Now you mention it, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure the body was found at 9 AM. Okay, my job's done. That's a pretty small job. What else are we missing? There's the big plant. Is that something? The Monokuma flower, huh? Is it true? Does it really eat paper, plastic, and people? Anyway, I don't think it's related to the case, so I think I'll just stay away. Okay. Can we leave? Okay, we're missing something. I don't know what, though. We've seen everything, right? Oh, the shed. Just to be sure, I should take a look in the tool shed. This room's dusty and disorganized. In other words, a pretty stereotypical tool shed. Is this a tarp? Wait, was there a tarp in here before? I should really look into that. It could be related to the case. The top is wet and covered with mud and grime, but the underside is totally clean and completely dry. On the side, the note tarp is wet and stick dirty. Something about that bothers me. Was it used to cover the body before the sprinklers went off? That's the one thing in here that concerns me. Really? Can we go now? I think I've checked everything I need in this area, but I'm not done yet. There are other areas I need to check. Specifically that fragment I found before. There's somewhere I need to go in order to confirm my suspicions. And I still need to find out more about Kyoko. Is that corpse really Kyoko, if that's true? Was that also Kyoko who attacked me last night? If I can find out more about her, maybe you can answer that question. Kyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself all that much. Maybe I can get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. But the key to her room...
It's all clear now.
I will simply limit your options. I can't allow you to engage in any further suspicious activity.
What?
Limit my options? Okay, he's got the fucking key, we know. We don't need to recap that cutscene. I don't have a choice, I'll have to see if it'll let me borrow her room key. Or at least come with me. Hey, Byakuya. If you do come up with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear it later at the class trial. Oh, it's not about that. You have the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. I'm afraid I can't take the risk. You're the prime suspect after all.
What?
Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story. Then will you go with me? Sorry, I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later and we'll see.
Goodbye.
Depending on my mood, I may go with you, or I may not. Come back later, huh? Okay, then in the meantime, I should look around somewhere else. Maybe I should check out that one area. I don't know what he's talking about. So it's this one, right? I have literally no fucking clue what that is. I have no idea what that is. Any on the map that I can see? Oh, the gym, apparently. There's certainly something in here. Let's have a look. Monokuma's laying dismantled on the floor, but I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know?
I just found something. What is it? Oh, it's the bomb. It's the bomb. We just know. And that bomb went missing. There's no doubt about it. The fragments are found in the garden. Fragments and the dead body's been updated in the true bullet section. Okay, I've checked everything else I can think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. Why did it make you come down here first? It's kind of silly. Fifth floor? Yeah. Byakuya, please, let me see the thing. You think we can go soon, Byakuya?
Let's go.
You wanted to check out Kyoko's room, right? Very well, let's go. Oh, wait for me. What the fuck is wrong with my fucking controls? I can't walk forward properly. Is my keyboard fucked? Look at this! Well then, here we go. Byakuya took out the key and slid it into the keyhole and then... And it's open. Looks like it. Thanks. So this is Kyoko's room. Here's her bed. I don't see anything interesting here, at least not as far as the case is concerned. This, however, probably is interesting. There's something on the table. It's a wood block decoration.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. The lockers are those really traditional public bathhouses use them for their lockers. I wouldn't know, I'd never gone to a public bathhouse. That doesn't really surprise me, it's hard to picture Byakuya doing something like that. But if it is a key, I think I might know where it unlocks. Really? What? Unless I'm mistaken. I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo that might go to. The dojo? Anything else in here that's relevant? That's the door, right? It's being hidden, yeah. In the toilet? Here's the bathroom. She might have certain articles hanging out to dry. I'd better not look inside.
What?
You wanted to come here, right? So what is it you're looking for? Nothing in particular, I just thought we might find some kind of clue here. A clue that might help us understand Kyoko.
Come on.
You can't be serious. That's what you made me take time out of my search to come here? Sorry. Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed to no matter... If you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete. Something to give us some sort of direction here. More concrete. Oh, I know.
It's true.
I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Found it. What's in the envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it. Well, something certainly happened, so open it. Okay. I opened the envelope and looked inside. Inside was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets.
What?
That's all that was in there? Yeah, it looks like it. Under the sheets, what could it be? Are we just a fucking idiot or something? Because obviously this. But could something be hidden under the bed sheets? Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as I lifted up the sheets... What's this? I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Class 78 Student Registry. Makuro Ikusaba? It appears to be Makuro Ikusaba's profile. Yeah, looks like it. That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room along with the key. This must be the blank the Monokuma was talking about. Kyoko said a death without meaning was unappealing, and that's what she left behind. I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search. Okay. I made an effort to pull myself together and look down the profile sheet. Name Makuro Ikusaba. Sex female. The ultimate soldier. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed an interest in the military from childhood and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quietly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed she joined a mercenary group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. She insisted she hadn't been kidnapped, that she received battle training of her own volition. However, she never revealed why she returned home when she did. Okay, it's Makuro's profile. The Ultimate Soldier, a mercenary group? This doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in is like a completely different dimension. It's like one's non-fiction, the other is sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. That's how different I saw things as just an ordinary person, but then...
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this. You recognise it?
Naturally.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses, and they always get the job done. That's worth remembering. This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I live in. I have to say I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir has already.
Found it.
Well, I feel like our hero is becoming a bit of a player, and a bit of a player is becoming our hero. It's you.
What?
What do you got in your pretty little hand there? You found her profile? So what if we did? Don't freak out at me, I'm not going to hold it against you or anything. And in case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either, even though she stole it and hid it. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? But who I can't forgive is Misagami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag a corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivorous, you know.
What?
Are rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about these regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on dedication to organisation and order. Which is why even I, as a school headmaster, have to follow the regulations myself. Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course.
Absolutely, I can't have you complaining about how unfair it all is now, can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? Interesting? It's about the one writing all the rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. I don't think I've ever told you that, how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking, I should probably clarify that.
Hey.
When you all first got together in the main hall, there were 15 people there, right? I think the first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding among you all. A misunderstanding, are you saying? That's right, there weren't actually 15 of you. The total number of students taking this part in killing game was actually 16. 16 then...
The 16th.
Yeah, we know this was the fucking cutscene again. That fucking cutscene. The 16th student, Makuro Ikusaba, she's part of the school life. So the one making all the regulations is...
Why?
Did you say something? Why are you telling us this? Oh, well, because... Like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since you've got so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up in a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know?
Yes, indeed.
Make sense?
Well, now.
Okay then, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you. Revenge? I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Kirigiri, so I'm going to share a little secret with you. Seriously? You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in, day out, all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see. What? Okay, now that's all you get. Jesus fucking Christ. Monokuma's account has been added to the truth bullet section of your hand. Oh, Kyoko does wear gloves. Wait, so on the back of her hand... the tattoo. Wait, but no. Monokuma specifically said there were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears those gloves, to hide the scars. The tattoo is a wolf. Wolf is Fenrir. It's obviously fucking Makuro. Which means... those fake nails on the corpse. Are you thinking about Kyoko again? Huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. His trap? God, it must have really hated you to make you this dull. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Makuro was a student here.
That's right.
Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Makuro is the one creating the rules for the game. But why would he tell us that? And why now? He said he wanted to make things clear so there wouldn't be any complaints later. But the mere fact that he said that proves that Makuro was connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Makuro is related to the case. Perhaps she's the one who killed Kyoko. What? That would explain why we'd have to have class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she killed someone, that would make her part of the school killing game. Makuro is the killer? She killed Kyoko? Anyway, should be able to come up with that conclusion, don't you think? Anyone. In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first begun.
What?
But based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear.
Makuro Ikasaba isn't the culprit. What makes you say that? We thought Makuro the Ultimate Despair was the Mastermind's true identity. But if that's true, Monokuma's behaviour makes no sense. Why would the Mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? That's a good point.
So in other words...
Makuro giving us information would raise questions about her would be bold to say the least. It makes more sense than to assume that Makuro isn't the culprit. So that's the trap? They want us to suspect Makuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me. The way you say it definitely does seem possible, but if that's really true, if Makuro isn't the killer, then who is? Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of investigation. I should find out if the key and the dojo really are connected.
Let's go.
Well, are you coming? Go straight to the dojo, that's handy. I just say, I don't know what's wrong with my computer, but the controls are just broken today on this game. What the fuck? My mouse no longer is working now, or any of my keys. So, 1 second guys, I'll be right back. Okay, let's do this. My controls seem to be working again now for some reason. No idea what happened there. Anyway. This is locker number 6 here. There are wooden lockers here. They use woodblock keys just like they super traditional public bathhouses. Looks like the keys we found in Kyoko's room, and he does go to one of these lockers. Makoto, do you see the lockers farthest to the right?
Very strange.
That's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at all at the moment. You understand what this means, right? I should probably use the key we found in that locker, right?
That's right.
Well, just try it. Okay. Took out the woodblock key and inserted it in the locker's metal lock, and the locker eagerly accepted the key and it opened. There are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong, despite how thin they are. Of course, without a bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks. Titanium arrows have been added to your truth section of your handbook. Oh, there's something else in the locker. It's a wadded up bowl of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is that a blood stain?
I see.
If it is, that means it's surely related to the case. The duct tape is related to the case somehow. How could it possibly be involved? Bloody duct tape's been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I think that's all the locker has to offer for now. Is something wrong? It's very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room?
Why?
Or perhaps... Byakuya? Forget it. Come on, we need to continue to the next location. What next location?
What?
There's still something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir. Fenrir, you mean the mercenary group that Makuro was part of? But how are we supposed to find out about that? Isn't it obvious? Where in the school would you go to research on something? Research. Are you talking about the archive? That's right, the archive of all kinds of info the general public doesn't have access to.
Let's go.
We only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Byakuya seemed to know the archive at the back of his hand and went straight to the shelf in the back. Here we go. He quickly returned with a file in hand.
I see.
Take a look at this. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French? I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Well, whatever. I'll read it for you, but I expect you to repay the debt 100 times over. 100 times. Isn't that a bit extreme? Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they're a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim they had a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into any enemy. They may have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they'd acquired. Some, however, believe there was mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded.
What?
This sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. This is our reality, the only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here. An unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all so exciting. Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use. So did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir. Now that you mention it, the report says something about the name Fenrir comes from, right? The Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. What? They got a tattoo of Fenrir? Could that mean... We know what it means, but the trial is now beginning. So Makuro is dead. And Kyoko strongly looks like the victim could have killed them.
And yet it constantly assaults us organisms, the earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial. So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you later.
Then the time has come. All we can do now is try and uncover the truth during the class trial.
That's right.
It would seem that way. Let's go. And here we are. For another deadly deception. Another class trial. I'll see you next time, guys, for the 5th class trial. Let's see what happens. Bye!